Have you ever wondered how far the world generation algorithm can go? We thought we knew all its rules, the spawn, the biomes, the caves, the end fortresses, all predictable, until the forest that shouldn't be there appeared in our world. We called it the Whispering Woods. It emerged overnight at the edge of our oldest plains biome, not through a portal, not as a glitch. Just one morning it was there. Trees the color of ash, with leaves that didn't rustle but quietly chimed like glass bells when the wind blew. And between the trunks there wasn't a single mob, not friendly, not hostile. Only absolute unnatural silence. My friend Jake, the eternal optimist, rushed to explore immediately. "This is amazing," he said. "A secret update, or maybe the admin did something." He came back an hour later. His inventory had no sticks, no apples, only 3 perfectly identical round stones. "I didn't mind them," he said, looking confused. "They were just lying at the roots of the largest tree, like a gift." The next day, paths appeared in the woods, not the kind players tread, neat, paved with the same ashen cobblestone. They led deeper, forming strange, too perfect geometric patterns. Sarah, our redstone genius, tried to make a map. The paper in her hands began to slowly smolder, as if the world didn't want to be captured. And the compass. The compass just spun wildly the moment she stepped under the canopy of those trees. A week later, we found the first note. It was a simple piece of paper stuck in a crack in the bark. In a clear, almost typeset font, it read, "Your world misses you." Chills ran down our spines. This wasn't someone's prank. We didn't have fonts like that in our settings. The toy was suddenly looking at us with a conscious gaze. Then came the dreams. Or rather, the same dream. All 3 of us started seeing it at night. We stand in the center of the woods, and the trees slowly part, revealing a perfect square passage in the ground leading down. Below, not a cave, a room, our room. An exact copy of our first crude spawn dirt hut. And there, at the table, sit we ourselves from 3 years ago, full of enthusiasm, making plans for this endless world. And our current selves watch them from above, like ghosts. Jake was the first to crack. "It wants us to remember," he said. "The world wants to return to that time, when we loved it just for what it was, not when we chased netherite and complex farms." He took those 3 round stones, went back to the woods, and placed them back at the roots of the same tree. The next morning, a small, neat stone arch stood there. Inside it hung a portal, but not made of obsidian and fire. It was just a frame filled with a haze that shimmered like film. It didn't reflect the nether or the end. It reflected our very first awkward home. We stood before it in silence for a whole day. The server was running, day turned to night. But in the woods there was an eternal soft twilight. We understood this wasn't a threat. It was an offer. Sarah sighed. "I won't go in," she said. "It's a step back, and I want to move forward, even if forward is just new mechanisms." Jake looked at the portal, then at us. "I think I will go in. I'm curious." There was no fear in his eyes, but curiosity, the very same that started it all. He took a step. The shimmer swallowed him, and the portal vanished. Not with a roar. It just dissolved into the air, leaving only an empty arch behind. And in our chat appeared a final system message we had never seen before. "Player Jake the Explorer has left the world forever." A month has passed since then. The woods haven't disappeared, but they don't grow either. They just exist. Sarah is building her most ambitious flying farm. I'm exploring ocean monuments. We play, we laugh. But sometimes, especially in the quiet, we both fall silent and look towards where the ashen trees begin. We don't know where Jake went. Did he return to that first version of our world? Did he become part of the code, a memory, a spirit of the place? The world no longer sends us notes. It just reminds us of itself with the quiet chime of glass leaves in the wind. Perhaps every world into which too much soul has been poured has its own threshold. its own whispering woods. And when players forget why they came, the world quietly offers them a choice: to stay and seek new meanings, or to return to the very beginning, where everything was the meaning. Every block mined, every first sunrise, every laugh from falling into lava. We chose to stay, but now we play differently. Sometimes I just sit on the roof of my house and watch the sun rise over our creations, because I know the world sees this, and perhaps it misses not only our past, perhaps it just wants us to see it again. Is there a place in your world you're afraid to return to?